The transmission began exactly at 2:43 a.m. No call sign, no waveform identifier, just a raw pulse that slipped through every unused band of the spectrum at once. Radios, satellite receivers, maritime channels, even emergency aviation frequencies. Every device in the monitoring lab screamed at the same time. I was alone when it happened. The screen walls flared white as data flooded in faster than our analyzers could resolve it. The sound in my headphones wasn't static. It was layered, like breathing stacked atop breathing. Millions of faint rhythms compressed into one overwhelming noise. Then the sound organized itself. A repeating structure formed. 4 rising tones followed by a long descending note. A signal pattern. Not random. Not natural. Intentional. The facility had one rule. When anomalous signals appeared, observe only. Never reply. But rules are only written because something once happened to justify them. I began recording instead. As the pulse continued, the spectrogram developed a second layer beneath the main waveform. Deep infrasonic bands hidden under normal hearing range. The machine's automatic translator flagged them as synthetic linguistic repetition. Something was speaking under the sound. I isolated the sublayer and slowed it down. The result chilled me. Not words, concepts, shaped rhythmic commands rather than spoken language, but patterns matched semantic encoding almost perfectly. Then the machine produced its guess. This region is unstable. I ripped off the headphones. The lab went silent except for the hum of servers. Data still poured across the monitors. I checked the signal source. It wasn't coming from space. It wasn't coming from Earth. The triangulation algorithm pinned the origin point at 32 kilometers above sea level, directly above our own coordinate location. The signal was coming from the empty sky over the building. I went up to the roof. The stars were sharp and cold, scattered like grains of frost across the void. Air traffic was minimal. A single blinking jet crossed the southern horizon. And directly overhead, there was a distortion. Not a visible object, more like a failure in perspective, as if the fabric of the sky bent subtly inward at a fixed point. A place where darkness appeared thicker, heavier, refusing starlight. The pulse continued. Now I felt it rather than heard it. A vibration passing inward through my ribs instead of striking from outside. My teeth burst. Behind me, lab alarms began activating one after another. By the time I returned inside, the message had advanced. The translator had finally gained semantic lock. 3 phrases appeared on screen. Sequence locked biological receiver. Present communication path. Validi didn't understand. Then the overhead lights dimmed. Every electronic device flickered, not losing power, but altering frequency, drifting towards synchronization with the broadcast. Monitors pulsed slowly in unison. Thump. Thump. Like something massive beating invisibly in the air. I suddenly knew the horrible truth. The signal wasn't meant for equipment. The equipment was only amplifying it. The receiver was me. The sound intensified. Images flooded into my thoughts. Starless voids folding inward. Planetary crusts peeling open like fragile shells. Geometries rotating through impossible dimensions. And something else beneath the imagery. An awareness, not a mind as we understand it. Not a personality, but a colossal cognitive field probing outward. Scanning realities, the way a sonar pulse scans water. It wasn't hostile. It wasn't curious. It simply searched. And what it sought was a medium capable of perception. I dropped to the floor as vertigo punched through me. Blood trickled from my nose. I felt something aligning inside my skull, not physically, but structurally, as if neural pathways were subtly reshaped. tuned to resonate with the broadcast. The translator's final output appeared. Primary interface successful. I screamed. My voice emerged doubled. One sound from my mouth. Another echo layered behind it in perfect harmonic lag, like something was answering. Inside my vocal cords. The transmission changed. Frequency, not outward, inward. The pressure in my head became unbearable. I could feel the alien cognition reaching toward my thoughts, threading into memory, identity, perception itself, not consuming, anchoring. I understood then what the signal truly was, a bridge built through consciousness, not physics. It did not want conquest. It did not want worship. It wanted contact. And contact required a stable biological node able to sustain reception. Reality wavered. The lab walls stretched, bending away from perspective. The data monitors slid into fractal distortions, repeating infinitely inward as though falling down a visual abyss through the fracture in perception. Above me, the distortion in the sky, something shifted. A vast organization of light and void unfolded, partially into local dimensional space. No shape describes it. Just motion, layered rotational transparency, entire stellar patterns compressed into a presence whose scale violated all interpretation. Not descending, not arriving. Manifesting. And it was already here. Instinct screamed, not flight or fight, but resistance itself. I lunged for the manual emergency breaker and slammed it down. The building darkened. Instantly, servers cut out, transmitters died, signal amplifiers collapsed into sudden silence. The broadcast severed. The pressure vanished. I collapsed beside the breaker as natural sound returned. Wind, electrical settling, distant traffic. The sky outside returned to normal. No distortion. No presence. The lab, though darkened and burned with blown circuitry, stood intact. I waited for the world to reassert itself. It did. Mostly. I left that job 2 days later. The official explanation for the incident was solar interference causing equipment overload. No mention of anomalous patterns. No linguistic data stored. The servers had been wiped clean, not erased, but overwritten with corrupted noise beyond recovery. I gave no interference. I moved far from radio towers. I destroyed my headset. I avoid quiet rooms, because silence is when the pulse returns. Not audibly, not exactly, but in perception, faint pressure, behind thought, a rhythm that never truly stopped. And sometimes, when I catch my reflection in dark glass, I see subtle alignment in my pupils, not perfectly circular anymore, but faintly stretched, as if responding to a geometry only the stars remember, because the transmission that I wanted the lab. It wanted me. And now that the bridge has been established, I fear what may finally cross it.